can you give us an overview of some of the biggest successes that have come out of the Discovery Group? We have talked about, the reputation you guys have built and a well-earned reputation, but can we dig into the details of why you have that today?
Well, it started before 2016, way back. I think in 2002, let's say, in a different iteration of the group, but still John Robbins was a leader. We had Committee Bay Resources. We had Stornoway Diamond Corporation came out of. It was actually called Northern Empire Minerals Limited. That came out of the group. A little bit later on, we had an interest in a project, the Lanfranchi nickel mine, which was a nickel project in Australia. That was called Brilliant Mining. That was an example of, we talked about drill intercepts before, where one drill intercept can completely change the valuation metric of a company. That was one. Northern Empire Resources Corp was one of the companies in our group. Kaminak was one of the companies in our group.
Kaminak was the story that really first put the Discovery Group on my radar in a big way. And can you kind of walk us through what happened there and what the outcome was?
Yeah, the company was formed, I think it started trading in 2005. So it was an overnight success that took 11 years. And it was a project generator that had projects across the country. And then the team did a deal with the guy named Sean Ryan on some early stage project in the Yukon. And it was the coffee project. And then, the team sort of was brought together, led by John was the chairman and Rob Carpenter was the CEO. And that team came together and started banging it out of the park with gold intervals drilling. Mm-hmm. And it turned into one of the bigger exploration programs in Canada. And then Rob left and moved east. And Ira Thomas was hired as CEO and became a director, and we got some new directors there. And then it sort of moved from exploration to real focus on CSR and feasibility, so those kind of studies. And then Ira was able to attract some big shareholders like Ross Beatty and Lucas Lundin, the Electrum Group, and then Goldcorp. I mean, actually, lots of companies were banging on the door. But Goldcorp came in with swords bared, and they wanted it. And so they made a bid, and it was accepted, and it was about a $520 million deal. And that was in 2016. So that kind of rained money on our floor and put us in the position where we had to decide whether we would retire or double down and negotiate a sublease from Goldcorp, because mm-hmm. Kaminak actually had the floor. So when they bought Kaminak, Goldcorp had this empty space at 800 West Pender, and so we doubled down, and we were able to then attract the guys at Great Bear and Dunedin, which is now Kodiak Copper. They came over into our office. We were able to attract Mike Allen. We hired Mike Allen, and he took over as CEO of Northern Empire Resources Corp. And we brought and attracted someone like Doug Hurst, who in the end became executive chair for the company. Mm-hmm. And then Mike had some really good ideas, and one was the Sterling Gold project that was held by Imperial. And so we negotiated with Imperial. They were in a huge pickle because of issues in British Columbia. And they were going to jettison, they were looking for cash, so they jettisoned the Sterling project. We were able to make a cash offer for them because of the credibility of the group, really. I mean, we were able to raise that capital and get the deal done. And then we sold that to Core Mining within, it was 16 months or something like that. So it was pretty quick. A little over a year.
And you sold that for what, $117 million after buying it for like 10?
Yeah, I think that the actual deal was like 13, including stock and something else. But yeah, pretty much it was an amazing return, very, very rapidly.
Productive year, I would say.
It was good. Yeah. And then, along actually, it was really neat as we were doing the Northern Empire deal. Bluestone was about 3 months, 3 months advanced, and we were kind of doing the same kind of deal structure, financing structure, and large institutional raises. Just Bluestone was about 3 months earlier, and Bluestone was acquiring the Cerro Blanco project in Guatemala at the same time, but we were going to a lot of the big same institutions and the same banking groups to help us do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that done. And Bluestone has been, I think a real tremendous development success, whereas Northern Empire was a buy, drill, sell success, was actually much more rapid. So that was a big one. And then recently, some of the like Great Bear Resources is so spectacular. I can barely contain myself when I talk about it. Like we brought, like in 2016, I believe they joined the group, or maybe just after that. I can't even remember the time when they joined the group, but it went from like 15 cents, and I don't know what we're trading at today, but close to $12 a share. And in my personal opinion, going higher, although I'm not an investment advisor, but I got a feeling that it's going higher. That's all I can say. I got a real feeling. And so it looks pretty good, and that's just a rocket ship. So that, so we've had discovery successes, and real success buying stuff, attracting capital and people that attract good projects and capital. And then we can, so we know when to sell.